morning from Bulloch County Historical Society. Sure do miss all of y'all. Today's Tidbit is brought to you by the Statesboro Kiwanis Club and Manak Signature Properties. I don't know what Bulloch County did right to get the two Manak brothers to live here, but thank heavens we did. Also, the Kiwanis Club gives back to our community so many dollars to so many worthwhile endeavors. BCHS next historical marker is the Kiwanis Ogeechee Fair, which will be finished by October of this year. Without a doubt, my favorite publication on Statesboro is A Century of Progress by Liddell and G.C. Coleman. Liddell and his wife, Brooks Grimes, were like second grandparents to me. They lived one house down on College Boulevard, and my family spent a lot of time with them, especially in the hours after supper many nights. My daddy loaned Liddell and G.C. many of the pictures in this book. I still, fortunately, have the originals. These brothers purchased the Bulloch Times in 1962 and merged it with the Bulloch Herald. Therefore, they obtained the newspaper files of the Statesboro News also. They ordered a print to be made of the microfilms of all the newspapers. Then they began studying these from time to time. They became deeply impressed with the greatness of our community in the chronological recording of the events of our town. In 1966, the centennial of the first charter of the city of Statesboro, the Coleman brothers published A Century of Progress. Because of the vast amount of information that was found and that was contributed, this one-year project took 4 years to complete. It was printed right here in Statesboro in the newspaper's plant on Walnut Street, on the equipment they used for the publication of the Bulloch Herald and the Bulloch Times. Sections were printed as completed on available time. They state, these two Coleman brothers, that they are not historians, but rather newspaper men. They relied on the newspapers and the records in the office of the clerk of the Bulloch Superior Court. They asked members of civic clubs and churches to contribute their histories. There's an interesting article on Beta Sigma Phi, a social club for Caucasian women, and their first initiate was our own member, Virginia Russian Trapnell. How about that? There are wonderful advertisements in this publication. As a matter of fact, it may be my favorite part to get a snapshot of Statesboro in 1966. The Knick Knack Grill, owned by our member Charles Webb's parents. Sunday lunch at the Knick Knack was a treat, and I always got turkey and dressing. It was the best dressing ever. Holloway's Florist. Bill Holloway was from Register, and he attended the University of Georgia at the same time my mother did, around 1948. His arrangements and flair for decorating were unsurpassed. And here's something real special, Franklin Rexall Drugs, owned by my daddy and my granddaddy, began in 1908. The soda fountain served a full meal and the best ice cream in Statesboro. Tilly's. Oh, to go to the mezzanine and shop for clothes one more time. When Statesboro lost Marcus and Sandy Seligman to Savannah, we lost just one fine couple. And then we have Statesboro Auto Parts, owned by members Jimmy Redding and his brother Clyde. J.P. Redding started this business after graduation from Georgia Tech. He and Daddy were great friends. Many expected topics are covered. If you want to know the exact history of the Confederate monument on the courthouse square, this is your go-to source. It includes 2 early pictures of the monument and 2 pictures of Confederate veterans in Statesboro, one from 1911 and the other from 1937. The article states that the marker came from the McNeil Marble Company of Marietta, Georgia, so now we can put that issue to rest. The UDC Committee, United Daughters of Confederacy, charged with the selection and purchase of the marble shaft, included Mrs. A.W. Quattlebaum, Mrs. R. Lee Moore, Mrs. W.G. Raines, Mrs. A.J. Clary, and Mrs. W.H. Simmons, all very prominent ladies of that day. It also contains the history of the KKK in our town. If you want to know about it, buy the book. It also tells the story of Triangle Park, Statesboro's prettiest little green space, and something I pass by daily. It also covers the watering trough that now rests in this park after watering many a horse and mule while located on the courthouse square. An interesting tale is that of two Russian men that came to town to work on the railroad. It's in A Century of Progress. Their story ends tragically, and they're both buried in the Papa's Field at Eastside Cemetery. One year, our own Tales from the Tomb, our cemetery tour, featured these two Russians. Liddell Coleman summed up our very little town in a very little one sentence. It's absolutely priceless. The seeds or roots of almost everything we are today may be discerned in the people who lived, grew up, made their contribution, and died before and after the adoption of the City Charter of Statesboro on December 20th, 1866. If you would like a copy of this great publication, please drop me a text or email. I can make it happen for you for a $20 bill. Until next week, bye.